Good afternoon, Don. Thank you for the videos. Much appreciated. So I really like where we're at. Okay, so obviously you messaged me whatever and you picked up that lateral move in the backswing, and yes, it is too much, and yes, it is a bit of an issue, but everything else is looking really, really fantastic. All right, we were going to have a discussion about bunkers. We're just going to put that on the back burner for next week, probably, just in terms of fairway bunker versus waist area versus sort of um, the long ones out of the waist area where you're just trying to sort of recover, right? So we'll get back to that next week. For now, okay, I just want to focus on this because things are looking really good, and if you just learn how to control and feel your center point, okay, we're really going to be onto something here. All right, right. So routine and setup all very, very good. Okay, apart from the 3-wood. Okay, 3-wood, you're sitting in there. Okay, with your head and shoulders tilted back. It's for driver, so that's to make the low point here. Okay, so the low point of the circle, the low point of the swing, is the low point of the circle. Okay, so that's the low point there. So when you move here, okay, now your low point moves behind the ball, and that's kind of what you're doing every time, isn't it? Behind the ball. So you kind of got to figure it out, how to control and what you want your low point to be. So when we set up our low point, it's actually generally just a little bit behind the ball anyway. And then as we turn, it does tend to move a little. So we've got to learn how to get forward and on top of the ball, and even sometimes ahead of the ball. Not very often, but sometimes we've got to learn to get ahead of the ball. Right? We have spoken about this before. But just understand that low point. Now, if you set up like this, the low point's moved even further back. Okay, so 3-wood I want wide and ball forward, but not there forward. Okay, and then no tilt. Back tilt, low shoulder with the 3-wood. Stay nice and level. The ball position will do everything for you. I'm already set up 6 inches or so behind the golf ball already, just with the width of the stance and the ball position. I don't want to go 2 foot. Okay, so just make that adjustment. Yeah. Okay, then with the irons, that knee was going a little bit, and then we saw this just not getting through. Okay, and then weirdly enough, with 3-wood, we still had the lateral move and obviously poor setup, but the knees were awesome, and you were getting through not bad. Okay, so I was actually surprised. I thought it would go the other way. I thought it would go now even more with the 3-wood, but it didn't. Okay, so really, really good on the footwork, on the backswing. All right, so it's just about this center point. All right, okay, so these are drills, right? So we're going to start with feet together. All right, literally touching. Okay, hit some balls. All right, now try and feel where the balls are relative to your eyes, relative to your head. Where's the ball? It's right there. Okay, you got to get used to, oh, that ball's out in front of me. Okay, so you got to get used to swinging. I can feel my eyes right on top of this ball versus here. Okay, I can feel that ball's out in front of me. Got to learn the feel. Yeah. Okay, so feet together, but focus really on those eyes and head staying on top of the ball. Alrighty, a bit more. Sorry, long day, long week. A bit more intensity than that. And then we're going to do some punches, right? So then punches, okay, again, we don't punch very often at Trump, but punches, we want head, chest, and eyes in front of the ball. So now I'm looking at the ball back there, weight in the left knee, and then stay there. Okay, so stay ahead of it on the backswing. Okay, it's not a nice feeling shot, a punch, but you have to learn how to do it. Okay, so head, chest, and eyes in front of the ball, weight on the foot, on the left foot. Feel where my eyes and head are, stay in front of the ball, look back at the ball, don't come back to comfort zone. All right, stay ahead of the ball. All right, and punch it down there. That was a nice punch. All right, so that is the warm-up. Okay, feet together and some punches, focusing on the position of my head and eyes relative to the ball. Okay, right, then we're going to do ball forward drill. Okay, so what we want to do now is, weirdly, kind of what you're doing a little bit with the 3-wood, but exaggerated, but without the tilt part. Okay, so we want to put that ball, if anything, just outside my front foot. Okay, with irons, yeah? But we want to put the iron in its normal place. So an iron's going to be here. So we're not going by the ball, we're there. Okay, and then if you want to open the toe a little bit to help you, can. But if you move this way, you are not going to be able to get back to the ball. But also you should realize my eyes are very far from that golf ball. Okay, so we stay on the spot, and then we lunge a little bit forward. Yes, might feel like a little bit of a lunge. Okay, but let's learn to control where our center point and where our eyes are. Okay, so normal position, ball out there. Okay, go and get it. Okay, and you can hit some nice shots. You can hear it as well. Okay, and then second draw, normal ball position. So if you do that draw with 3-wood, then 3-wood's going to have to be there. Okay, obviously white, but none of this. Yeah, but really focus on where's the ball relative to my eyes. Okay, and then, second draw is hips to target. Okay, belt to target, I think I put. So imagine where your belt is. Okay, we just want the belt to go to the target and the right foot to release. Okay, ideally I put in your notes there, we'll keep the knees separate and then go through, but the most important thing is that as early as you can, hips go there, but that they go there and they finish there. Okay, I want none of this. Okay, so just hips to target. Nice setups. Try and stay on top of it. Try and keep the knees if you can, but most important on these, fire those hips through to the target and keep them there. No matter if you hit a bad one or a chunky one or a toe one or whatever, just make sure you do it. Okay, so simple enough drills, all pretty much focused on trying to know and control where the center point of my swing is. Let's pay more attention to my eyes relative to the golf ball to start figuring this stuff out. Okay, otherwise I'm very happy, things looking really, really good. The weight shift from all our step drills, okay, the torso rotation, even the release looks later. We had some great extension here a few times as well. Okay, a lot of really, really good looking stuff there. Okay, keep it up, enjoy the rest of the week, and I'll talk to you soon.